Hello, everyone. Beautiful people, men, women, and anything in between. As you might tell, if you're watching the stream when we built this, it looks a little bit different. Minecraft decided to not work on my system, but it works on my sister's. So we had to rebuild this in, 15 minutes?
And by we, she means mostly me, because she was too busy ranting about how she didn't think it would work, and how we're just gonna wind up having to do it on Sims, and I was like, well, at least let me try.
And we built this in 15 minutes. There was lots of swearing, lots of tears, a little bit of blood, but this is our first podcast, and we're gonna try to do this every Saturday, same time, 2 p.m. Central Time to about 3 p.m. Central Time, depending how long it takes us to run through what we have outlined. And in today's podcast, kind of our main theme is like entertainment, so like music, movies, books, stuff like that. So we really hope you enjoy, and feel free to interact with us because we will be reading comments. And our first topic we're going to be talking about, I'm just going to let Missy talk about it because I don't think I'll even have room to talk, because this is like her favorite topic in the entire world.
I am very much obsessed with Selena Gomez, and as some of you, if you're fans, know, she just dropped her album on Friday, so I am obsessed with this album. It's fantastic. In fact, I think I'm going to torture Stina with it as much as possible.
Oh god.
So I'm totally going to make her listen to my favorite song off the album so far, and you guys can see exactly what she thinks of the new stuff.
Oh god.
Because it's very different than her old stuff.
Okay, if anyone has a number for an ear doctor on file, I might need this after this.
Or a number for a good lawyer.
What's the album called?
It's called Rare, and it's fantastic. I've been waiting for this album since she released Revival, and I've been like talking about it non-stop the minute the release date was announced, and I was ranting about it when it dropped at midnight, and I was like, it won't let me play it.
I was here. I was a part of that.
Yeah,
Personally, I don't like my albums rare. I like my steak rare. We are in the same room. Let us know if the mic is too quiet, too loud.
Yeah.
Don't tell us to mute it. It'll hurt our feelings. We're very sensitive.
And by sensitive, she means she's sensitive, and I'll just laugh.
I'm fragile.
She's very fragile. So, sis, you want to hear my favorite song?
I don't know. I don't, but it'll be entertainment.
Okay, well, hopefully you like it, but knowing you, you're probably going to troll the song.
What's the song called?
It's called Dance Again, and I don't know why, I just really like it.
I know she has a song called Level Remember, and a lyric is Somewhere in Forever We'll Dance Again. So maybe it's a follow-up to that. Let's see.
Oh, maybe.
It doesn't even start yet, Standard. Turn it up. Oh. That sounds painful. I one time ran into a brick wall. Okay, I don't hate it. I like to imagine she's a polka dancer. Oh, I like that. And she ruined it. Okay. I didn't hate it.
You lie, you know you loved it.
I didn't hate it.
You know you loved it.
So how, like, do you like all her songs, or are there any songs you hate on the album?
Not a hate, just songs that I'm indifferent to. There's like one song where I'm kind of like, I mean, take it or leave it.
What song?
Cut You Off.
Okay.
Like, it's a decent song, it's just, compared to all the other ones on the album, I just felt like it wasn't as strong as the rest.
I remember Selena Gomez, when she came out with the album When the Sun Goes Down. That was my jam as a kid. Like, that was maybe when I think of an album of my childhood, I think of that. Or All I Ever Wanted by Kelly Clarkson. That is a solid album.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been, like, into her Stars Dance album. Like, that one I liked a lot, particularly the title, Stars Dance. Like, that song was really good because it's so pretty and lyrical. And I like listening to songs that have meaning.
I like the bridge of that song.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to, like, it's kind of embarrassing now to think about it, but we would, like, try and perform Selena songs as, like, duets together.
Yep.
Especially, like, the song Come and Get It. Like,
love songs that are sexual, we would perform together.
It was like a love song. Oh, man, we went to camp one year, and they made us, like, perform that.
They didn't make us. We volunteered.
No, they literally said, you guys should do it, and we were like, okay.
Well, we didn't exactly try to...
We didn't, like, say no, but... So, I like Selena. She's got a lot of good music, and it always seems to come from a place in particular where she actually has a meaning to her songs. It's not just like dance tracks up the wazoo. Like, literally, you can actually listen to the lyrics and find a meaning behind it.
Some of them are kind of dancey, though.
Only off of, there's a couple on Stars Dance that are dancey, but they're not, like, my favorite songs.
I know, I kind of feel like, what was the album called? Ooh, A Year Without Rain was kind of dancey.
Yeah, but that had a meaning, though.
Is she involved in producing her songs? Do you know?
I know she helps write some of her songs, and she said that she switched record labels because she wanted more control.
Mm-hmm.
And, she talked about this one song on the new album called Fun, and basically she said the label had been telling her, have more fun songs, so she named the song Fun, but it's got, like, a very deep meaning to it.
Yeah, because she used to be in a band called The Scene, so it was, like, Selena Gomez and The Scene. Now it's just Selena Gomez. She dropped The Scene. And... fun fact, we actually met Selena Gomez in, like, what was it, 2012? So, 8 years ago. That's crazy to think about. And I remember after we were done meeting her, I think he was a guitarist, he came in and we talked with him for a little bit and we took a picture together. And I remember my first thought was when he got next to me, like, right by my face, is how soft his hair was.
Well, he was your favorite, too, on top of that.
It was literally like a cloud. Look him up, Joey, from The Scene.
I know, you were obsessed.
Yeah, he was hot, too. My little 12-year-old heart fluttered a little bit. We were also backstage. It's kind of embarrassing.
Oh, man.
The lights were off, and, like, I can't really see that well, especially then. And, I ran, like, almost full speed into a wall backstage in front of everyone.
Oh, man.
Yeah, good times, good times.
Oh, man, I remember people just swarming you, like, oh my gosh, are you okay?
And I think I don't know what I said, actually.
I don't even know what you said.
I probably said, I'm fine.
All I know is I normally would have been leading us back there, but because it was your deal, I was letting you lead, and you
you led me right into a wall. How does that make you feel?
I didn't lead you there.
It's your fault.
Yeah, it's
I refuse to take
fault.
responsibility.
Okay. But, yeah, I mean, it was great.
Yeah. San Diego. Beautiful place. Y'all should visit. Oh. We landed in a blackout in there.
Man, that was just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Selena. She's great.
And she hasn't, like, released stuff for, like,
More than 2 years.
So.
Her last album, I'm gonna look this up, because I'm pretty sure it's been, like, 4 years since she released it.
I'll talk about the blackout.
But, like, I'm pretty sure Revival came out a while ago.
So, it's like when all the power in the city goes out. So, lights, traffic lights, the hotel had no power. So, I'm in a wheelchair, so they store the wheelchair in the bottom of the plane. and well, they have to connect it to, I don't know, they call it like a little ramp so you can leave the plane. Well, you need power to do that. So we got to walk on the tarmac, which is like a huge no-no in
like airports.
Yeah, airports. No.
They had to clear it.
Yeah, they had to make planes stop landing so they don't land on top of us. And the hotel was 2 minutes away from the airport, and it took us 2.5 hours to get there
because all the signal lights are broken.
Yeah.
So they were just flashing, so you had to treat them like stop signs.
Yeah, and we found out that the reason it went out was like a power plant, like exploded or something. So
it didn't explode. I think someone hooked something they weren't supposed to, and it overloaded the system.
So yeah.
But yeah, I was right. Selena's last album came out in 2015, so it's been
5 years.
Yeah.
5 years, dude. I can math.
4.5.
Mr. F, are you proud of me? Remember freshman year when you said I wasn't good at math? Well, look at me now. I am sitting in my room doing nothing with my life.
Yeah, and
good job.
Still being wrong about your math because it was 4.5 years, not 5. You bum.
Anyway, so it rarely happens, am I right?
Oh my god, that pun.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's actually, all of New York.
Yikes.
And New York is a popular place.
Right? I cannot imagine New York without power.
Well, all the traffic.
Oh, that would be horrible.
I would just walk. I'd be like, it's fine.
Why? So you can get hit by a car because you can't get the walk symbol?
You're right. That. Okay. Got a point there.
Yeah.
There was one time over the summer I was walking to Target, and I was waiting for the walk signal, and this car, I assume it's because I'm in a wheelchair, I don't have any proof, stopped in the middle of this like busy intersection and goes, "Do you need any help?" Like, nah, B, I'm just waiting for my walk, okay? Leave me alone. So,
I love when that happens.
yeah, it's like, okay, I appreciate it, Samantha, but I'm fine. I mean, they were trying to be nice, but
you get all sorts of people when you're like disabled. Like, people will come up to you and they either think they're the funniest person ever, or they try to give you free stuff all the time. And
pray over you.
Oh man, that too. That's horrible.
I'm so proud of you girls for getting out of your house. Can I say a prayer for you?
Oh man, and then half the time it's like whatever, because it makes the interaction way shorter.
Yeah, then if you're like, they do.
Yes, they're like, we're gonna pray and you're gonna be all healed.
It happens a lot. There's this one time, just a normal day, our cable was broken. We called the cable guy, and he was great. He fixed our cable. He was so good. And then at the end, he's like, I have a church where we heal people. We once healed a girl with cancer. Like, Nabi. That didn't happen, but I mean,
you can believe whatever.
If you have comfort in your faith, we're not trying to knock faith or anything. Like,
but it's just don't push it on other people.
Yeah, you know, kind of thing. Like, I'm out here living my life. Yeah. You're living your life, you know?
Yeah. Oh man, what about that lady? One time we went to the movies.
Oh Lord.
This lady was horrible.
Sandrine would love this lady if the roles were reversed.
She walked up to us and she was like talking to us about how she just adopted these 2 little girls who were twins and asked if we were twins, and we were like, well, no. And then she's like, I want to get you guys food. Let me get you guys food. And we were like, no, we're good. Our dad's in line getting food, and we're just waiting for him. And she like insisted to the point, literally, she dragged us through the line and got us food. At first, I was just like, fine, I'm just gonna get something small, because then to get her to stop. But then she's like, I'm gonna get you guys ices on top of that. I'm like, but we don't want.
We don't even like ices.
Like, I don't want an icy. Can I just go?
We got like a full combo meal.
Like,
we tried. We're like, no, we're good. Thank you. We appreciate it. And then she's like, oh no, I insist. I'm like, no, we ate before we came. She's like, no, there's nothing wrong without having it. I'm like, shut up. I'm about to deck you in front of your adopted twin daughters. I don't care.
Yeah. And then on top of that, she was like, "What movie are you going to see?" And we were like, "Oh yeah, Beauty and the Beast."
We're seeing
We're
seeing the same movie. I'm like, I swear to God, if she's sitting next to us,
oh man.
she's gonna like spoon feed us.
Yeah, and on top of that, like it was just gonna be me and my sister. My dad wanted to go see a different movie, so it was just gonna be just us.
Fun for ourselves.
So I was like, "Oh God, please no."
Luckily, I think they're like 2 rows ahead of us.
No, they were sitting in a different theater altogether.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
sitting in 3D.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not a fan of 3D at all.
Yeah. Not really me either. Our next topic, are you guys ready for tea? It's about to be spilt. Sugar and everything is about to be spilt. So, I think you know more about it than me, but Kanye West versus Taylor Swift.
It's still a thing, honestly.
Yeah.
It's still coming up, like, years later. They just brought up the award show incident again, where basically she got an award, Kanye went up there and was all, "Beyonce's better, in like the best artist of all time," in the middle of Taylor's acceptance speech.
I'm gonna interrupt you. If you guys want to see that clip, it's in my newest YouTube channel video, Overwatch. Funny moments, exclamation YouTube will give you that link. Okay, continue.
Yeah, and so basically, she just got interrupted. It was a horrible moment. Beyonce was awkward. Taylor felt like really bad about it, and they recently broke down exactly what happened. And supposedly, Pink went up to Kanye after he did that and was like yelling at him and being like, "You can't just do that. Like, are you kidding me?"
We stand a queen. I love Pink.
I know, she's not afraid to say what she feels.
And it was cool because after, I think Beyonce won a different award, and then she goes, "I'm gonna let Taylor come up here and have her moment." I'm like, aww.
Gosh, Kanye stomped it out, like, really?
So, this isn't exactly Kanye, but it's Taylor Swift. Sorry if you can hear my pop. But Taylor Swift, I don't know how many albums she's released, but girl has a lot. And, well, I don't know, she switched labels, but she signed a contract when she was 15 that her studio had all the rights to her album.
They had her masters, is what they're called.
And
Basically just means that they have the original recordings.
so they basically own the music. And, well, she wanted to buy her masters back, like, I don't know, 10 years later.
A while ago, and they wouldn't let her at first, and then they sold the label
To something
to
else.
someone else without even asking if she wanted to buy her masters first.
And, well, basically she doesn't own, I think it's like her first 5 albums.
Yeah, she doesn't own, like, any of them. It's really bad. And, like, it just became this huge thing, and, like, caused all sorts of issues.
Like, for initially, what was it? American Music Awards? Well, she got, like, Artist of the Decade. I don't know what.
I'm pretty sure it was the American Music Awards. But she was supposed to perform, like, a montage of all her songs.
And she didn't own the rights, and they at first said no. But then when she made it public, they're like, "Oh, we never said that."
And we don't, and then they even said as far as, like, we didn't have the right to say no anyway.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not like she's releasing anything.
So, I don't know. I feel like that'd be really frustrating, like, especially if you wrote your songs.
Yeah.
Like, you should own them, especially if you offer to buy them, too.
And it's not like she didn't offer them, like, a fair amount for it. She literally said, like, "I'll pay whatever, just let me buy them."
I want my music back, B.
Right?
Also, Suffer, good to see you. Just wanted to let you know.
But, oh man. I felt so bad for Taylor when I found out about it, and I was like, I could understand maybe her not owning the full rights to her music if she hadn't wrote the songs, but the fact that she wrote them and sang them, it doesn't make sense for her not to own them.
I think she's, like, re-recording all her songs this year and then releasing them.
She was going to. And that was actually part of the deal, was they were going to try and say, well, as long as you agree not to re-record your songs, you can perform it.
Yeah, and she's like, nah.
She's like, no, I'd
She
rather not.
stands her ground. Whether you like her or not, you gotta admit she stands her ground.
Oh yeah, she's very confident in what she wants, and she's not going to let people push her around.
And I didn't think she was bad or anything, but I didn't really think she was anything extraordinary. But after watching her montage of at the American Music Awards, that girl can sing. She got talent. She can write and she can sing.
Exactly. Like, I've never been a huge Taylor Swift fan. Like, there are songs that I like. Like, I have Teardrops on My Guitar. Like, I like that song. But the fact is, her voice sounded the same as it would on the CD
Yeah.
when she was performing. And you could tell it wasn't, like, tracked. Like, it was actually her singing. Which kind of irritates me when people just lip sing the whole time, because it's like, that doesn't take any talent then, really.
Hey, have you seen TikTok?
Well, that's, like, if you're doing something cool, like, I get it, but
TikTok is cool? What?
there's certain things. Like, some people do some really cool things on there.
Bondi Bonkers is my favorite cosplayer, and she's on TikTok. You guys should check her out.
Oh my god.
Or they. They might go by they. I don't. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, that's a complicated.
And not even just like gender, like just them specifically. We might as well get into it. We have a couple minutes. So, Bondi Bonkers, you have no idea about this.
Yeah, I have no idea what.
They are on TikTok. They've been on TikTok for, I don't know, 2 years. And, well, people got really creepy with them. Like, they loved them. And they were only 15, so they, like, leaked her address and whatnot. And they were trying to get them to stop. And so, in order to get them to stop, she said she identified as he, thinking, like, maybe it would deter them. And, well, it didn't. And then she said that she was they, trying to, like, stop this whole fire, put it out and whatnot. And it didn't work, so they eventually took a break off TikTok, and then they came back like a year later. So I don't know what their actual pronouns are, so that's why I keep, like, switching between them. But that's so creepy, you know? She's just like a 15-year-old girl doing her own thing, and she doesn't really do sexual TikTok, so it's not like you can say
She
brought it on herself.
which is another issue.
Yeah.
I hate when people say that just because of the way you dress, the way you act, you bring it on yourself. But
Yeah, you guys couldn't see I did air quotes when I said brought it on yourself. Like,
yeah, I'm very passionate about that whole issue because, like, I feel so bad for people because they're like, well, you were wearing that shirt and that made people think you wanted it, and it's like, no, did they say I want you to do that? No, they didn't say that. So
yeah. So that's the Bondi Bonkers, but they're amazing at TikTok, honestly. I think they're either 16 or 17 right now.
yeah.
Seriously, like, I'm not really into cosplay, but
Cosplay
I
world
could
is
watch her
very-
all day.
Like,
honestly.
I think part of it is, like, cosplay in general brings out some people that want to. They, like, get so attached because you're playing a character that they already have an obsession with.
That's a good point.
So it's like, I think that's where some of the attention gets more hyper focused. So I think cosplayers, more than a lot of other types of entertainers, get this weird magnetic focus of, like, you're really attractive and I basically own you, even though
Oh
it
shit.
shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, I could see that. For sure.
Yeah.
Awkward silence.
It's because you don't transition. You're just like, I can see that, and then you don't say anything.
I know, I'm really bad at transitions. Hopefully we get better as time goes
Yeah,
on.
you have to work on your transitions.
Yeah.
But
So let's make an even awkwarder transition. So movies. We were gonna watch Frozen 2 on Friday. I'm like, oh, we can talk about it on the
but then
podcast.
somebody wanted to play bunny shooters all day.
Which is also another name for Overwatch.
Because I refuse to call it Overwatch because I like to call it bunny shooters because it annoys the heck out of Steve.
But you recently saw The Grudge.
Yes, I saw the new Grudge movie.
I did not see it, but I do want to see it.
I liked it. It wasn't fabulous, but it was decent enough. But I feel like for The Grudge to do well, it needs to be handled properly, and putting an American lens on it just kind of kills it.
Yeah, it's a horror film. Honestly, I don't. What do you know? What originally, like, what country The Grudge is?
I want to say Japan, but I'm not 100% on that.
I know foreign horror movies are honestly, to me, a lot better than American horror movies. There's what was it called? It's called White in American, guys, in English, and it's about, like, this curse of this singer who went, I don't know what she went by, but there's, like, a curse song, and basically the singer, like, gets poisoned and whatnot, and she dies, but they cover it up as a fire. And then there's this new girl band that moves into the old house of her, and they find that, and it was an unreleased song, so they released it, and they're, like, cursed, and, like, one by one they die, and I actually really love that movie. It's not in English, but, yeah, I mean, they have captions and whatnot. I know it was on Hulu at a point in time.
Japan as well?
I don't know. I know it's Asian, but I don't.
Yeah, because if it's from Japan as well, it seems a little bit like The Grudge, because The Grudge is basically, the idea behind it is when you die in a fit of rage or whatever, the spirit lingers, and when it grabs onto people, it holds on. So it's like, it like haunts a house. So, like, if you move into the house where a grudge happened, it's like a curse. The grudge will follow you wherever you go.
So the Grudge is, like, different people, or it's just the one chick?
It's the spirit that died, that was, like, however it died, it was angry, so it latched onto the house, and then it latches onto the people that come to the house.
Me after I die when people eat my french fries, I'm gonna be mad. Yeah.
So it just,
so, like,
people.
a grudge, you're holding a grudge.
Yeah.
I'm smart. 200 IQ, guys.
Yeah, and so it's basically, they've tried to do this film multiple times in America, and it never is as good as the original film. Because, like, the first one I saw the Sarah Michelle Gellar version, and again, I thought it was okay, but it wasn't, like, scary.
I feel like horror movies are either good or bad. There's, like, no in between.
Like, this one, I felt like it was okay. I personally wasn't a big fan of the ending, which I'm not gonna say because I don't want to spoil the movie, but I just was not a big fan of the ending.
Yeah. I know there's this... I just want to talk about horror movies now. It's like, that's my culture.
Like,
horror.
I love horror movies. They're great. I mean, Conjuring 2 is, like, my all-time favorite.
That's a good one. It's a good one for sure.
Yeah. I like a lot of horror movies. Whenever they come out, I'm like, we gotta go, let's go.
We gotta go, hurry up. My favorite, like, horror series, not necessarily movie, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's my goal.
You're so weird about that one. It's not even, like, scary. It's
just gory.
Yeah. It's all
I don't know why, and I get grossed out, like, by Saw, so you'd think I'd get grossed out by Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay. Side note. First time I saw it was Saw 3, and I was eating Lian Chin while watching it completely easily. I wasn't even grossed out in the slightest.
Lian Chin is a Chinese restaurant. I don't think it's international, so just for those that don't know what it is.
It's like Panda, basically.
Panda Express, yeah. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's like my goal to watch all of them, which you'd think I would by now with, like, how long it's been on my bucket list. I've seen a few. I've seen the original one. I don't know what, I think it came out in 2006. There was one I watched.
Yeah. I saw the Jessica Biel version.
I think I've seen that too.
And then I saw
where she's, like, related to him.
No, that's a different one, but I've seen that one too.
There's this one scene in one of the movies I watched where it's still, like, painful to imagine. So if you're easily squeamish, pause it for, like, 20 seconds. They put this guy on a hook and they cut off his leg and they, like, rub salt in it.
Ow.
Yeah. So, yeah, that kind of traumatized me.
So, hashtag Dead by Daylight.
That's where Dead by Daylight got their idea from, that movie.
Yeah, completely.
I know as a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch the Saw movies.
You weren't allowed to watch any horror movie.
Because
The one time I showed you a Goosebumps movie, you were so scared you slept in my room for like 2 years.
2 years, guys. I watched that in like 4th grade, and I was so terrified that I didn't watch any horror movie until 8th grade. None. And
you got me in trouble for talking about like Child's Play with one of my friends, and you told mom and dad about it, and then I got in trouble. It's like I didn't even watch it in front of her. I literally was just talking about the movie.
I was actually terrified, though. I wasn't even just trying to get you in trouble. It's the sad thing.
Like, oh man.
But that's when I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Was in 8th grade, and that's when the obsession started. Now I just love horror movies, honestly.
I've always loved horror movies, starting from when I always hear the story, like, from my parents all the time, but when I was 2, my dad was watching The Mummy, and I was sitting on the couch next to him watching The Mummy, laughing.
Ben, you're a serial killer. You're gonna kill me in my sleep. Please pray over me, guys.
I can't even heard him lie, like...
That is true. I can't hurt a spider either. There was one time there was a spider on her and she was begging me to help her, and I couldn't do it, guys.
It's not even because you didn't want to hurt it. You were scared of it.
I was scared.
Like, I can't reach it.
I am big baby.
And you were like, let me get a pole. I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna die here.
Child's Play with the puppet. It's like...
It's not a puppet. It's Chucky movie.
But if you're talking Goosebumps, that's with the dummy, yeah. I was afraid of the Night of the Living Dummy.
Yeah. Slappy.
Which is it's kind of funny because where I go during the day, one of the kids is like obsessed with dolls, and she goes, I got a Slappy dummy for Christmas, and she showed me a picture. I'm like, if you only knew.
So sis, we gotta watch Dead Silence.
I've actually seen that.
I haven't. I want to.
It wasn't that good to me. Isn't it on Netflix?
I don't know. All I know is it's made by the same people who do Saw and Conjuring, because James Wan is involved in all of them. James Wan is a horror mastermind. Like,
I thought you were gonna say a horrible person. I'm like, damn.
no, he's like amazing. I love him so much, and I would love to meet him and like hear how he came up with all of these ideas.
Is our house on fire? There's smoke right outside my window.
It's the heater, you weirdo.
Okay, just checking.
It's like the heat stuff. Or possibly the laundry.
You guys can't see, but there's like a whole smoke thing right outside my window, and I thought I was dying.
It's just really cold outside, so any sort of heat looks like that.
Impressive. I see these videos on Instagram and Facebook of people that I think they take warm water and they throw it in the air.
And then it freezes, yeah.
That is been a dream of mine to do that, and I've never done it. And it would be easy to do because we live in cold climate, so.
It'd be easy to do, except for the fact that you have to pick up the bucket of water and throw it.
Listen, I am a strong individual. I might be weak, but my mind is strong.
Yeah, because you totally have telekinesis.
Yep. I am a magical human being.
Okay. Okay, Jean Grey.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
You don't know Jean... Oh my god.
Oh, isn't that Grey's Anatomy?
Jean Grey? How is that Grey's Anatomy? Sam, help me. Please help me.
Who's Jean Grey? Oh, is that the one with Summer Fontana?
No! Well, yes. Jean Grey. She doesn't know who Jean Grey is.
Haha.
What is wrong with you? Have you not seen X-Men? Jean Grey is like the best X-Men of all time.
Also, the door's closed and I just farted, so it's about to get steamy in here.
I hate you. I'm gonna kill you. It'll smell better if you're dead.
Oh. Damn.
It's not a superhero movie, it's a comic book series with a couple movies.
She says that she pushes up her nerd glasses.
I am a nerd, very much so. I'm in love with Doctor Who, I'm in love with a lot of things, so.
I'm in love with myself. We stand a confident queen.
And I definitely want to go see Black Widow when it comes out, and I don't care if I have
Gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you like a Black Widow, baby.
Scarlett Johansson is a boss and super great.
I'm a bossy ass beach. 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 Beach.
Sheena's obsessed, like, I swear.
I just have nothing to contribute to the conversation besides my beautiful musical talents.
Yeah. But I am a big fan of X-Men, but only because Jean Grey is so great.
So, New Year's resolutions, I have a couple. One of them is to start reading more. So I was like looking into books I want to start reading, and I like tragic books, kind of like, not like they have to have a bad or happy ending, I don't really care, but just tragic, if you know what I mean. And there's this book series, ironically isn't tragic, that I read as a kid called the Mother-Daughter Book Club series, and I don't think it's really popular. It's by Heather Vogel Frederick, and I don't know when I started reading it, in 5th grade maybe, and I thought the series ended with book 6. I'm like, okay, you know, kind of sad, but it had like a conclusion. Well, I found out that they came out with the last book of the series, book 7, and I started reading it. It came out in 2016, and basically the series is about what it sounds like. It's this book club of these daughters, and the story starts when they're in 6th grade, and they're daughters and mothers that are in a book club together, and it's kind of about them all hating each other but becoming friends, which it sounds really bad, but it's actually not a bad book. It's kind of an easy read though, now that I'm older.
I've read this book called Joy Luck, and it sounds very similar.
What's that one about?
It's again like a mother-daughter like pairing, but it's more talking about their lives. So like, as people who immigrated to America, so it's like the parents grew up somewhere else, but it's them telling like stories, and then their kids have a section where they talk about how it's like for them living in America, but also...
Awful. Spoiler alert.
Huh?
Awful. Spoiler alert.
Oh my god. Well, just because, like, there's a lot of culture, and being an immigrant can be hard because you want to honor the culture you came from, but at the same time you're expected to, quote-unquote, be American.
That's why I always feel like it's hard. I'm not personally, but being, like, mixed with let's say you're Mexican-American. This is actually from the Selena movie, for those that don't know. Not Selena Gomez, Selena Perez. Basically, like, if you're mixed to the Mexicans, you have to be more Mexican than the Mexicans. And then if you're hanging out with Americans, you have to be more American than the Americans. I feel like it's really hard to win to be mixed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm white, so I don't know the struggle. I just know privilege, so...
Yeah.
It was a good movie. I was obsessed with.
I know you were obsessed with
Selena Quintanilla Perez in 6th
grade. You literally
grade.
did a whole little speech about it for this thing that you have to do in elementary school.
Let's explain it. We got time. Well, in 6th grade at my elementary school, we do this thing. It's kind of like wax figures, but they call it famous faces, and you have to pick a dead inspiration or celebrity type person, and you basically have to dress them and write a speech as if you were them.
Yeah, you dress up like them and you pretend you're them for about a 5-minute speech.
Yeah, and
then
the whole school, like, you're set up all over the school, every 6th grader, and the students, like, kindergarten through 5th grade, all come around, and they have this, like, little button sign you make, and they press it, and you do your speech. I forgot my speech one time. Not like I actually forgot it, but because it became so second nature, I wasn't really thinking of the next thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, just spitting out the line, and then I'm like, oh wait, where am I? When I forgot, and I had to go through the whole speech in my head, and I kind of just, like, stood there. But I was Selena Quintanilla Perez.
I was Annie Oakley, though I wanted to be Houdini.
Someone already picked it, I'm guessing.
Yep.
I know, and they don't let you repeat, except some celebrities like Michael Jackson. Of course, everyone wants to be Michael Jackson, and he's so popular that everyone wants to see him, so I think they let 2 people be Michael Jackson when I was in 6th grade.
I was so bummed. I was like, man, I really want to be Houdini.
I was so cocky in that video. It's on my old Facebook. I mean, I could pull it up right now if you guys really want to hear cocky 12-year-old Stina.
Oh gosh. It's
I
so cringy.
hated. Honestly, I was a terrible kid. Like, I was so cocky, so into myself. I was sensitive, and I would get everyone else in trouble. Do you guys want to see that video? Do you want to hear me cringe?
The answer would be no, guys.
It's awful.
It's so painful.
Yeah. And I remember when you did it, you're set up in groups of your classmates, and I was with 3 other people, and we were watching other people, and I didn't even watch your speech. Like, I was trying to get them to go see you, but everyone wanted to see everyone else, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember you not coming.
I'm
But
sorry.
everyone else did. Like, our parents showed up because parents are invited.
I don't think for
Our
mine,
grandparents were there.
ours did. I think my grandparents and my aunt did.
I'm pretty sure I got out of school early and, like, came and saw you.
But I don't think Dad did. He probably was working.
Yeah, he was working. He was not there for mine either.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I literally talked Mom into letting me get out of school early to come see you.
I was proud of that. I wore red lipstick and all, guys.
Yeah, you bought that lipstick specifically.
I did. And
It's not even your shade. It's so bad.
Oh God. I don't. And in 6th grade, our teacher was like really into filming. So we have like montages of our whole 6th grade year, and he gave us all CDs, and I'm in there with
Didn't
my.
do much for yours.
He didn't.
We did some really cool
They
stuff.
like acted stuff out.
We did a little, it's like a 5-minute video about being like superheroes and villains and that kind of thing. And it was super fun. I got to be a villain and I loved it. I love pretending to be a bad guy, honestly. It's so fun.
Yeah, like I wish we got to do that because I love acting. For those that know me, that's
I
my
was in a lot of
passion.
them. Did you notice how many of them I was in?
Yeah.
Like, there was, we also, like, we were allowed to come up with some of these skits on our own. And I came up with one with 2 other people, and it was like, violence, basically our thing was like, violence is not the answer. So these 2 people were, like, fake fighting. And then, at first I was like, hey guys, you can't do that. So then I, like, tried to run them over, like, fakely. And they did, like, this weird, like, dramatic flop.
I know, they had like cheesy sound effects and all.
It was so funny.
Stina, help! But yeah, ours was, we didn't act anything out. We just got like a highlight from our 6th grade years, like field trips and whatnot we went on.
Mm-hmm.
I still have it.
I liked mine. Mine was fun.
I watched it for the first time a year ago. I was dying and cringing all at the same time.
Remember when our niece used to come over and she was always like, let's watch your video.
Yeah, I actually really did like her video as a kid. I thought it was like the best thing ever. I'm like, this should be a TV show.
It should have been, oh man.
I wonder if like I would think that now, but honestly it was ahead of its time with villains versus good people.
Yeah, it was great, and I got a decent sized part. And
Yeah.
I got to even pick like what my weapon would be. Though
Yeah.
he didn't let me do it the way I wanted to do it. I wanted to do like a yo-yo thing where like you throw the yo-yo out and it like launches something out of it.
Yeah.
Instead he was like, no, just turn it and then it'll
Well, he probably didn't know how to edit that.
maybe.
He was actually really good at editing stuff. He should have been a YouTuber, not a teacher.
He probably is, but you
I know, let's look him up.
Oh man, we should sometime to see.
It's raining in Minecraft, so our ceiling is like dripping. It's fine.
No.
Yeah, he was cool. He was a strict teacher, but he was cool. He made me cry 3 times, but I was also sensitive.
You cried in 2nd grade over a Tamagotchi dying.
My little self asked the teacher if it would go to heaven, and I was very upset because I didn't know if my Tamagotchi dying was gonna go to heaven. Pray over me, guys.
Yes, you were very sensitive and got me in trouble a lot.
Yeah.
It's the best sister ever.
Yeah. And I was mean too. I would bite her and stuff like that.
And then I'd get in trouble because apparently I picked the fight.
Yep.
I get bit and it's my fault, okay?
I do hate my kid, so if I could, I'd slap her.
You and your sharp nails, oh man.
I would also, because I wasn't strong enough to hit her and make it hurt, so I'd dig my nails into her.
And it would like rip just the top layer, and so it would really hurt more than if it actually bled.
Sometimes I'd make it bleed. Your older sister would bite you. I know in elementary school when I was going into kindergarten, I had this like crazy fear that a student would bite me and the teacher wouldn't be able to get him off.
Really?
Yeah, that was my fear going into kindergarten.
Weirdo.
Yeah. Did you guys have any like crazy fears as a kid? That's just like you think back on it and you're like, you were an idiot.
Yeah, I don't really think I had any like crazy fears.
Speaking of kids, I would like some thoughts and prayers in the chat. This kid, my eyes, for those that don't know, are uneven. One of them is stuck dilated. I'm basically a female David Bowie. And this kid, you know, kids, they just say whatever comes to their mind. And they go, "What's wrong with your eyes?" And he gets literally right in my face, like maybe an inch or two away. And then he just sneezes, snot all over my face, in my eye. I wanted to cry. I wanted to yell at him. I wanted to fight his parents, you know? It was a hard time. I go, ha, ha, ha. I'm like, I gotta go. I was like trying so hard not to just scream at this kid. I am a huge germaphobe. It would be disgusting if you weren't a germaphobe. It was literally a life or death situation for me. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to go home and shower and burn my face off. Yeah. Have you ever been playing games and your controller keeps slipping out of your hand?
Exactly.
That is the worst. It ruins like your whole gameplay where your controller is just slipping around your hands.
And like, it ruins the whole gameplay, and I suck already, so losing my controller just makes it that much worse.
But luckily for her, I found this trick to make you not slip around. If you go to fadegrips.store and use discount code AllKings8, you get 8% off, and your controller doesn't have to slip out of your hands. Like, you can actually play good even if you're a noob. Like, she went from all losses in Overwatch to literally...
I don't play Overwatch, but I went to a bunch of losses in Dead by Daylight.
She doesn't even play Overwatch, and she's good at it with Fade Grips. Yep.
But, yeah.
You're supposed to go along with that, and you didn't, but it's fine.
Yeah, I called you out, and then I told you exactly what it helped me with.
Yeah.
It's weirdo. Couldn't just pick a game I actually have.
I mean, I'm kind of dumb. She literally only plays 2 games, and I could have picked out of the 2, but no, I just picked one she doesn't play at all.
I love my grip, though. It's so soft, and it makes the controller less likely to fall. Especially when my dog likes to jump on me randomly while I'm playing and knock it out of my hand.
Yeah, that is something they do. And, like, all jokes aside, all plugs aside, they're actually pretty cheap and they hold up really well. Like, she's had that grip for, like, 2 years, and it's still going strong.
Oh yeah, you can't even tell that I've been, like, using it consistently.
So, if you go to fadegrips.store and use discount code AllKings8, you get 8% off. And don't hurt my wife, Sandrin. Speaking of games, I recently beat this game called Little Nightmares. It's like puzzle games, which those that don't know me, I am very dumb brain. I hate puzzles. I cannot do them for the life of me. But I actually really liked that game. I raged at it a lot. There's lots of screaming, lots of rage quits.
Is that the one where you're in that little raincoat thing and you look like Georgie from It?
And Coraline from Coraline.
I don't really think you look like Coraline, but...
Well, she has like a yellow raincoat in the movie.
You literally look like Georgie the whole time for that game.
And I didn't think I was like gonna love it, but the end completely changed my mind. Like, the ending was epic, and They have like 3 DLCs for it for $10, which I haven't picked up yet, but I'm going to. And it kind of reminds me of the games Limbo and Inside, which are puzzle games too. And it's like artsy, like all for interpretation kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I don't know much about this game.
Yeah, she doesn't know any of it.
I only watched like a small portion of you dying over and over and over.
Shut up. And there's this one girl that I know that actually looks a lot like one of the enemies in it, which is crazy.
You get scared every time you see them?
No, like, they're kind of cute. When I was playing it, I'm like, oh my god, you look exactly like blah blah blah. I'm like, I need to get a picture of this to show Sandrine. Literally an exact copy, same mannerisms, same features, everything.
You guys be a creepy stalker and take a picture.
I might ask her, be like, hey, can we take a picture together? And everyone's gonna be like so confused, like, you don't really hang out with this person, why do you want a picture with them?
No, you should just be like, hey, let's take a selfie.
Is there any game that, like, you played that you were obsessed with, like, even as a kid till now?
I was obsessed with.
Or, like,
I mean, The Sims.
we did play Sims a lot together.
I played Sims, like, consistently.
Yeah, we did.
I used to spend my entire day playing Sims to the point that, like,
me too.
My parents were like, you can't play Sims today. Well, why not?
It would be sad. I would, like, literally grow attached to my characters, and when they would die of old age, I'd be, like, sad about it.
I don't think I ever got them to die of old age. But...
Did you just keep making new?
Yeah, I think I kept, like, switching.
Oh, I would stick to my one world. I remember I actually named one of the characters after the Mother-Daughter book club. A character named Cassidy.
Yeah,
I did.
I kept switching worlds because we kept buying expansion packs. And I liked playing with them.
I didn't really use any expansion packs as a kid. I just liked the basic. It was enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, I used to talk to my friends all about, like, Sims in school. My friend was like, do you know you can kill your Sim, like, so
yeah,
ways? I was like,
I would Google those ways.
I was like, why?
I also used to watch, like, those videos of people's, like, Sim stories.
Yeah, my friend was like, did you know you can barbecue a baby in a fire? I was like, why did you even try that?
What? How do you even try that? Mario Kart was also a jam as a kid.
Oh,
we
yeah,
would play
it all the time.
One of my favorite memories is Christmas. We all, like, the year before, agreed to bring our DS and Mario Kart because we all had it. And we actually remembered the next year to do it, and we played Mario Kart. I think, how many of it were us? There is...
We maxed out the lobby.
Yeah.
So, 8?
8? I don't know who else. I only can think of 6. But... there's...
Well, I mean, we take up, like...
2. And then...
3, if you count.
The
Dad.
W's.
Well, Dad, because he...
He played too?
Yeah, he had one.
I thought it was just the cousins.
I'm pretty sure he played a little bit.
Hmm.
But yeah, we all played.
It was lit.
Yeah.
And there's also one year, there's this app called Song Pop, which basically you have to, like, guess the song. And I brought my iPad, and we all played it, like, the entire family. So we have people that are, like, in their 40s and up, and then, like, me and my sister who are, like, teenagers and down. So, like, we were rocking it, killing everyone.
All the categories.
Yeah,
like,
we had everyone there, so, like...
And I was I'm mostly into pop music, and it's, like, modern pop music.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, all the older generations more into, like,
rock
Journey
and stuff like that. Classic.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was before Stina was into Journey.
I actually, talking about Song Pop, I'm gonna play it after the podcast.
Most likely.
So re-download it.
She gets back into Song Pop, begs me to get back into it, then drops it 2 rounds later.
I'm that person, like, I stop playing a game for a while, and then I get back into it, like, 100%. Not even just games, just a lot of stuff. Like, I'll be excited about it, then I'll kind of lose it, and then I'll get back into it kind of thing. It's probably not healthy, but It's what I do. It's who I am. I ain't changed for nobody.
Yeah.
So I was talking about this topic on stream a couple days ago, and it was like, if there was one game that you could erase from your memory and replay for the first time, what would it be? I kind of want to change that up. If there is one like entertainment thing you could erase from your memory and hear for the first time, whether it's like a song or a book you read or a movie, what one would it be? Anyone can answer this.
Okay. A book for me would be Vampire Academy. I loved that series all the time. Like, it was my favorite book series ever. And if I could go back and erase it and reread it, it would feel fresh again, and I could read it again, and it would reawaken the love of that book series. It's got like 7 books in it, plus a spin-off series, which I've read all of, which again has like 7 books. And I even went as far as to, the author was doing a book tour, and I actually met her and got her to sign my books, so that was great.
Yeah, you did.
So nice. She was great.
Yeah, I didn't go, but I heard the stories, and she actually seemed really cool.
She was so cool, and she's like an international bestseller, so I was surprised that she was actually doing like a legit book tour where you didn't have to like pay to be there.
What was her name again?
Rochelle Mead.
How do you spell that? Do you know?
I think it's Richellemead.
M, like as in mom?
Yeah.
I thought she said N. The whole time I've been thinking it's need.
Why?
Like N as in Nick? I was like, I don't know.
No, it's
I'm
like,
dumb.
she's a fabulous author, and I've even started reading her very first book series, and I had her sign that book, and when she picked the book up, she was like, oh, it's my baby, and then she
It's my baby!
started signing it, and then I went
Imagine if you signed your own baby.
I went back and looked at some of her signatures, and on one of them, because you were allowed to get one personalized, she actually put like vampire fangs on it.
Cute.
And I was like, oh man, I would totally do that if I was an author, like, and I released a vampire novel. I would definitely be that person.
For me, book-wise, would probably be the Mother-Daughter Book Club series. That would be fun to read again. I was thinking that or 13 Reasons Why, but it would probably, if I had to pick one, it'd be the Mother-Daughter Book Club series.
I wasn't a big fan of 13 Reasons Why. Like, I read the whole book, but it just wasn't my thing.
I also read it when I was kind of like in that phase of like life's unfair kind of thing. So like I think in my mind I could like relate to the character a little bit, but also thinking back on it, like, this is going to be controversial for sure, but that it's a podcast. It's my personal opinion. You can agree or disagree. Thinking back on it, yeah, those people did the main character wrong. It's basically about this girl. She kills herself and leaves tapes behind to the people that wronged her, saying why she did it. In some ways, I kind of feel like that's selfish, too, because those people are going to live with that guilt for the rest of their lives, and they're not necessarily going to be the same person that they were in high school.
Right.
At the time when I read it, I'm like, oh yeah, you go girl, kind of thing. But I mean, also they did do her really dirty, and like, maybe if you share it with the person, they won't do it to someone else. But I feel like they're gonna share that guilt, and yes, people can do you dirty and help lead to a suicide, but I feel like at the end, like, it's your decision.
Choice at the end of the day.
And like, if you blame someone or your loved ones, like, that's gonna be with them for the rest of their lives, whereas you, controversial, when you die, it's like over, you know? Exactly, I agree with that, Druna. She said, what a bitch move to stoop down to her bully's level. I could agree with that.
And like, I do think the bullies shouldn't have been as mean as they were, but I also think that if someone is in a place like that, seeking help is
obviously what you should do, but when you're in that state also,
it can be hard to see that
yeah,
you need it, or even make yourself do it because you're like stuck in this hopelessness.
Yeah. The series, yeah, there's a series on Netflix about it. I stopped watching after the
I tried to watch it.
first season because
I couldn't even watch the whole first season. I just skipped to like the last episode and was like, okay.
the first season, like the book, it ends with her killing herself and going through the whole tapes. But season 2 and on, it's like continuing the story, and for me, I just kind of wanted to end the series with where the book
was like,
you don't get closure kind of thing. It's like suicide, like you don't get closure. But I don't know, because I didn't watch season 2 and season 3, but it kind of seemed like they kept it going to get closure.
Yeah. And a lot of people disagree with that even becoming a show because of the way it was
Yeah.
made. Because they said it triggered
Glorified.
a lot of people, and it made a lot of people go down that same path.
Which,
Which,
yes and no.
it needs to be talked about.
I agree,
And there
and
were trigger warnings placed.
yeah.
So it's like, I don't blame the show for triggering people because they warned you ahead of time.
If they were in that place, anything could have triggered them.
Yeah, literally anything. Like, and it doesn't even need to be something that is talking about suicide. It could literally be someone.
And they even changed how the character kills herself. Because, spoiler alert, mute it for like 20 seconds. Spoiler alert in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In the book, she overdoses on pills. And in the show, she slits her wrist and bleeds out. So they said they purposely changed it so it wasn't like glorifying it. Because they felt if you do pills, like, you kind of go peacefully. Whereas if you slit your wrist, like, it's painful.
Well, I feel like pills is more accurate though.
There's a statistic where girls are more likely to use pills and guys are more likely to use guns.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that got really dark.
Right.
But my book that I would want to change would be, erase from my memory and restart, would be Mother-Daughter Book Club series. Do any of you guys have like a book or whatnot that you would want to
Start over as if you've never.
read it before? We're just gonna be awkward and wait for people to respond. Do 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 do
Not even
do
doing the
do
Jeopardy song
do
right.
do 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 do. That
Do do do.
you guys didn't even hear the question. If you could erase a book that you've read from your memory,
Or a movie or a video game and start as if it's a new all over again.
let's
which one
do
would you do?
let's do book because I want to go through all of those individually.
Okay.
Do 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 do.
But what if people don't read books?
If you don't read books, you can just say skip. I also really like the book Fever. Was it 1793? I might actually change my answer to that one. It's about, what is it? The yellow plague?
Yellow fever, you mean?
Yellow fever, that's what it is. It's about.
Yeah, I tend to read a lot of books. Like over
Yeah,
and over
Serena,
and over.
that's the question. I know, I want to reread that one too. Do 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 do.
Lately, maybe.
That was the shittiest book I
Shit.
ever read in your ever life.
What?
What? Why would you want to reread it then? Or you're saying you just want to erase it and never read it again? Ooh, that's a bold statement, Serena. I know my sister's kind of an author. She writes books too.
Yeah, I like to write a lot.
I don't know if you want to talk about that.
I mean, I write a lot in my free time. I have an account on Wattpad where basically I post stuff and people read it. And it's always been a part of me, and I don't know why I like it so much. I just do. And it's I think at some point I'm probably going to move forward and try to do something with some of the works I've made.
Yeah, she's been writing since she was like in 7th grade, and it's like
It's
not
younger than that.
not even just a.
Elementary school.
It's not even just like a little writing. It's like a full book, like
I literally have a
300
full
pages.
book on my computer right now that I could try to send somewhere. I just keep going back and changing it.
This is
trying to
true.
improve it.
She's like gone back and edited it like
And
so
I've
many
even
times.
figured out exactly where I'd send it and everything.
I didn't read the fish sex book. What? Oh, Shape of Water. That's what it's about. Yeah, she does. It's like half of her persona.
Oh yeah, I write a ton. Like,
She does.
I've written at least the length of 7 books, like full books. Like I actually wrote them start to finish in one series when I was in like middle school.
Writers Unite. I can't write. I do poetry.
And then I scrapped it and decided to start a new series, which I finished the book like a year ago. I'm just going back through and editing, but
She's really like creative.
yeah. I tend to write a lot of paranormal romance novels just because that's what I like to read, so it kind of translates to what I start thinking of when I'm writing. But and it's usually a female-led series just because like when I write, I like to put myself in the character's position and be like, how would I respond?
So basically, you're a hot vampire.
To try to make it as realistic as possible. Just because, like, I want it to be believable.
I don't even know if her series is about vampires. I just said
I
that.
have written a vampire novel. And it's on Wattpad with, like, 10,000 reads, so that's great.
Plug your Wattpad. Do you want to?
No, I'm not gonna plug it.
Okay, well, if you think you find it, let me know, guys. Is it first person?
The vampire novel, yes. It is.
All of them. I think she meant like
most
all
of
your
them are
books.
first person. I think there's maybe been like one series I wrote that wasn't first person, but that was from like elementary school.
Yeah, I remember like elementary school, you would read books not first person. Not you specifically, just in general. And then as you get older, it's like first person.
I've always liked first person. Like,
yeah, me too.
Like I've read a lot of books, and I like the books the best when they're in first person, and I read them more.
I like books where it switches perspectives too.
I don't like that as much, but I do wind up doing that as an author on occasion. But I try not to.
I know we started a book. We're not gonna finish it, so I'm just gonna say our plot. It was like twin sisters, where she had one sister and I had the other, and we'd switch perspectives.
Yeah, and it was kind of just following their lives.
Yeah.
Which I think
it was a good story.
Was it parents who got divorced?
I think maybe.
And then they were on a ranch or something.
I think yeah, and I know there was like a dog my character was attached to, like a dog she got herself that she like rescued.
Yeah, and I'm more likely to follow through with finishing a story. Stina likes to pick things up and then drop them.
Exactly. This podcast will go for like maybe 5 episodes and I'll drop it. Just kidding.
Yeah.
What about album? Like an album you wish you could hear for the first time again? Mine would be Breakaway, Kelly Clarkson. 100%. What about you guys? Like a musical album that you'd want to erase from your memory and hear for the first time? I think it's called Breakaway. Pretty sure it is. I think it's her second album.
Okay, so either a Selena album, one of them. I don't know which one I would do, but I'd do one of those. Or maybe a Reba album. I'm kind of weird. I really like Reba.
Reba McEntire, by the way.
Yeah,
I know her and Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson has a song called Because of You, and they did a duet of it.
Yes, I know. I have that.
I heard her listening to it one time. I'm like, since when do you like Kelly Clarkson? She's like, I don't necessarily. I like Reba.
Yeah, I love Reba. She's great. And Kelly's like her daughter-in-law now.
I don't know if they still are, but I know. I think at a point in time. I'm not sure.
Because you married her stepson.
Yeah.
So they're related, and they were friends like way before that.
Yeah. I like Kelly Clarkson a lot. I feel like she's very underrated.
Yeah.
I also like Avril Lavigne. She's a pretty solid girl. Those are probably some of my favorite artists. If you guys have any, that shocks me that you've never listened to a full album, Jordan. What about movie? Is there a movie you'd want to erase and watch for the first time? I'm trying. Maybe So Undercover, starring Miley Cyrus. I really did like that. Or The Last Song.
Maybe the new Power Rangers movie.
That one was good.
Just because, like, every time I watch it after that, it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
And I want to get that feeling back of watching it.
I'm gonna change mine to Power Rangers, I agree. Adventures of Tintin.
Oh, yeah, that one.
I've never seen it,
Never
have
seen
you?
it, but I've heard of it.
My favorite movies of all time, it's gonna be a couple. Well, one is the documentary Blackfish. I don't know if you'd call that a movie. And then I like Dolphin Tale, which is based off a true story that I'm totally gonna talk about in an upcoming podcast. And I like Lone Survivor. You saw that movie. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah, I do.
And then So Undercover with Miley Cyrus. It's kind of cheesy, but I like it for that reason. And Brave, it's a Disney movie. It's basically about this, like, not girly Disney princess, which is kind of my jam, is being not girly. But I'm also kind of girly at the same time. Whatever, we're not talking about me. I think that's it.
I'm not girly, paints my nails pink.
They are pink right now.
But, yeah. I have a lot of movies I like. I've watched like 700 movies.
And Power Rangers is another. Yeah, Merida. I love that movie.
Yeah, but I think my favorite movie of all time is definitely Conjuring 2.
It's a good movie.
Like, it's by far my favorite.
I prefer it over
also-
Conjuring 1 and any other in the Conjuring series.
I also love Van Helsing.
Never seen it.
It's got Kate Blanchett, or not Blanchett, Kate Beckinsale,
Let me check my TV time.
and it's got Hugh Jackman in it.
We're back on horror movies. It's a full circle, Jurna.
We're not back on horror movies. I'm just listing off my favorite movies.
There's this app. This isn't like a plug or anything. It's a personal preference. There's an app called TV Time where you can mark shows and movies you've watched. And I'm gonna look at my favorite movies and see if
Beyond
there's.
the Light.
I liked Beyond the Lights. That
I
movie's
did
good.
not like that very much. I barely made it through the movie.
It's about this like singer that like tries to kill herself but gets saved by, I think it's a cop. A League of Their Own.
Oh.
That.
We watched that so much as kids.
Oh my god, I can't. Oh, how did I forget that movie? That's
It's not, I don't. It's not my favorite movie.
I will
but we
kill
watched
you.
it.
It is so good. You guys should watch it. It's about like a female baseball league,
Yeah,
professional.
and that actually, like, it's based on a true story, I think.
And then like I like any Tim Burton movie basically. Corpse Bride,
I
Nightmare
love
Before
certain Tim
Christmas,
Burton movies.
Edward
I
Scissorhands.
liked him. He did Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
I love Corpse Bride.
I'm surprised you haven't watched Miss Peregrine, honestly.
Uh,
It's Tim Burton. He didn't do the book justice, but I liked the movie. I just compartmentalize them as two separate things. Like, I don't see them as the same.
yeah, fair enough.
I'm kind of weird that way. Like, I can actually compartmentalize and be like, oh, it's not the same thing. But everyone else gets mad about it.
What about you guys? What are like your top movies? Yeah, Jaruna actually drew me. Shout out your Instagram. I don't know that. I think it's Romimnik currently on Instagram. You should spell that out for people watching this. She drew me some art, which was pretty cool,
And I will just
related to
confirm
Tim
that-
Burton.
I will confirm that the art was very beautiful.
It is. She's drawing me more too.
You know, ran over to me and just like, look,
Look what I got. Look what I got. Look what I got.
sent me.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my god, you, what, oh my, like, just so great.
For those
If only I could, like, get a eighth of that talent, then I would be a decent artist.
And it's not even necessarily her style either of art that she normally does. And for those just listening to the podcast, it's at Pharrell Memenick, FERALMEMENIK. Follow her. She's my wife. Okay, I think the last category we have is video game. That you wish you could play for the first time again. I know you're not really much of a gamer, but...
Play for the first time again. Sims.
I don't know.
Or actually, no. Do you remember Dream Life?
Oh! Okay, another rant. There's this, it's its own console, and it only has, one game on it.
And it's called Dream Life, and basically you, make a character, and then you play as that character.
Yeah.
I don't even remember exactly what you do.
I think it's, high school, and,
Yeah, you're in high school. I just don't remember exactly what you do.
And it's really stupid now thinking about how bad the game is, but...
And it broke. It broke because the console broke, because it's cheap. It was, $20.
Yeah, they used to make consoles, where it's just one game that they would play.
But yeah, I remember playing that game, and we used to play all the time, and I'm surprised Dad let us play as much as he did, because at the time we could only play in the living room, because that was the only place we had a TV.
And we'd play for, hours.
An hour.
I remember I brought it over to my best friend's house in 2nd grade. I was, mortified at the time, because we were making our character, and she picked someone with gray hair. I go, don't pick someone with gray hair, it makes you look old. And then I looked over at her parents who both had gray hair right when I said it. And I was mortified at the time, but I'm sure they didn't really care.
They probably didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
Fully.
I know, I felt bad. I'm
Chica, hey!
Welcome. Do you remember the V-Smile?
Oh my god.
That was the best console. You can't change my mind.
Okay. I used to play that all the time. I was way too old for it. But I used to play it because it was the only video game we had around here. And I was I'm going to play it. I don't care if it's having me spell out a word. I'm going to play it.
Yeah. I know there's you're in a toy factory. It's a learning type console. But it was cool. And then they had Disney games, The Little Mermaid. I remember I'd always hate that game. I'd rage on it.
I hated that game.
I actually would rage on it.
It just was dumb. It was a dumb game. There was no point.
Yeah. And then we also, I don't remember what the console is called, but there's a SpongeBob game I got for Christmas. Mm-hmm. I love that game too.
Yeah.
I forget, what is it called? There's also a handheld console that we would have. Leapfrog?
Leap Smile.
Leap Smile? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
I remember they had a Halloween type game on it, and I loved it. I've always liked the Halloween season. Just as a kid, I didn't like scary stuff. What? And then we got a Wii, which we played Super Mario Galaxy on all the time.
I played it, and she played the little
Player 2.
Rose things.
And collected Star Bits, and I actually enjoyed it. Okay, don't come for me. And then DS and stuff like that. It's 4:20.
Well, we were hoping to at least have an hour.
I know, we're we'll go for...
We were a little concerned we weren't going to have enough material.
Yeah, we have, you guys can't see, but we have
a list
of talking points and how long we're going to talk about it. And we've been going off, but that's what a podcast is, right?
Well, duh. Especially when you have Stina. Hey, look, a squirrel.
Yeah, I can go off on so many different things. I haven't even said what game I wanted to erase from my memory.
I know you have it.
What? I don't know. I want to look at my games, but I don't want to pause the podcast.
Couldn't you pull it up on your phone?
It would take too long. I don't know. I liked Life is Strange. I might want to play that for the first time. I didn't like the first episode, though, really. But I did like that game a lot. Prison Break from your memory and rewatch it again. Or Hannah Montana. God, you get the limo out front. Ooh, oh, hottest styles, every shoe, every color. Oh. I remember seeing Hannah Montana the movie as a kid.
Oh, I remember seeing lots of movies as a kid.
Yeah. used to go to the movies a lot as a kid, honestly. They'd have like $5 movies, and now that's not a thing anymore. I remember there was one time we had a babysitter, and we had this jar, like a water fountain jug, you know, that you put on the top, and it's filled with coins. And I remember us wanting to see a movie where we literally dug out stuff to equal $15 in there so we all could go to the movies.
Yeah, I remember I used to have a card where basically you spend $100 at the movie theater and you get $10 back. And it was perfect because you used to be able to get 2 tickets for $10.
And I remember us wanting to see a movie where we literally dug out stuff to equal $15 in there so we all could go to the movies.
Yeah, I remember I used to have a card where basically you spend $100 at the movie theater and you get $10 back. And it was perfect because you used to be able to get 2 tickets for $10 every single day.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, perfect. When I spend $100, I can go to a free movie, basically. And with one other person. And now it's like $10 a ticket. And I'm like, oh, well, this is not a good deal anymore.
Yeah. We used to go to AMC, but the AMC by our house is really crappy. So now we go like 20 minutes away to a movie theater. That's amazing.
We don't even go to AMC's anymore.
Yeah, we don't. Fuck you, AMC. Unless you want to sponsor us, then we love
Unless you
AMC.
free movies, and then we love you.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of AMC. It's not that good. And I feel like they ran out all the other movie theaters in the area with their low prices and then jacked the price up.
And to answer your question, I'm probably not streaming after this. Just to let you know. I want to just keep like the podcast day podcast.
Yeah, because podcast is amazing.
I know, I'm excited.
It's gonna be great.
Do you want to keep going or do you want to wrap up?
Up to you, fam.
No stream? I don't even know what else we talk about. We went through all our points. All our little scribbles.
Burn all of our other points.
Yeah.
We have planned out. Because we talk about it all today, then we're gonna have nothing to talk about after.
Right. You now have to join chat. I don't know who you're talking to, but yes. Just yes, whoever you're talking to needs to join chat. But yeah, that's our podcast. We're gonna do it every single Saturday.
Same time.
2 p.m. Central Time. I can't convert it to any other time for you.
So Google it if you're confused.
And there will be updates on Twitter about like when we're going live for the podcast and whatnot. And I'm really looking forward to 2020. It's gonna be the year of the podcast. I'm gonna try to see if I can.
Tina gives up her resolutions.
I'm gonna try to see if I can upload this to YouTube or something. But appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we will see you beautiful people next week. You can't see, but I'm gesturing, and it's kind of awkward. But yeah, and hopefully the other map works better.
Because this was a crap map we put together in 5 seconds.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye!